Hello, everybody. This is episode 6 of season 4 of the Weston Westeros podcast. We took another month off because we're busy as fuck.
Yeah.
And doing things.
And I ruined my ankle.
Yep. Yeah, Adam fucked his ankle up pretty bad.
For some reason means I can't talk and watch TV.
Right.
I somehow equated that with that.
Right.
But
I do live on the 3rd floor, so yeah, that's kind of hard.
Not a fan of stairs. But I'm good now.
Yep.
I'm still in quite a lot of pain all the time.
Right.
But we're surviving.
Right. And we did this podcast without the help of Culver's. We didn't get it this time.
Which sucked. I'm really hungry, but I'm also really poor because I couldn't work because I sprained my ankle. So
right.
It's a vicious circle of just poop.
Yeah, it's not good. We're gonna do episode 6 and 7 tonight. Post them at the same time, and then next week we have the 8, 9, and 10 episodes, which are the biggest of the season.
With a special guest.
Woo! My sister's gonna help us podcast. She's gonna be here all day. We're gonna marathon the last 3 episodes.
We're gonna marathon.
Nice. The last 3 episodes, we're gonna go hard. And she's pretty excited. We're gonna go Culver's, pretty sure. So we're gonna try to make it work.
That might be why I'm not buying it today, so I can save money for.
Yeah. So all 3 of those should be out next Tuesday. So with these, and then the 3 on Tuesday, you'll be all set. We'll be getting ready for season 5, which comes out early April next year. And because I have a laptop that works, we can do each one after each week. And I think
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, it'll be great. I think people will really like it because people kind of lose interest because they don't see it and everything. I mean, we're funny as fuck, but
so funny.
Yeah, but it's not gonna. We have to cater to our fans. But yeah, like probably something will happen, like your leg will fall off or some shit, or my laptop will die again.
Well, I mean, I'll be graduated from college, God willing, by that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be thinking about just taking like a semester off just to like pick my butt for a while. So
right. I'll be done I'll be done like episode 3 to 4.
Really?
Next season. Yeah, April 19th is my last day. I'll have my master's. And hopefully I'll have a real big boy job.
That's exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm not even gonna really try because I'm living in Kalamazoo. My lease is a year.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to move back to Grand Rapids before I start looking.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I'll keep my eyes out.
You could always substitute teach too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm signing up for that.
Yeah.
This week actually.
Nice, good job.
I can sub now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't need.
That's pretty sweet. I could get a job, but it would be harder. But once I get my master's, it'll be a lot easier.
Definitely.
That's in next April. I'm about halfway done. With this, after I finish the semester, I'll be over halfway done. So
go West.
It's fucking hard. It's a lot of work. Like I was doing homework all day before today. That and like household chores. It was not a fun day off, but whatever. Now it's gonna be a fun day off because we're about to talk about the last episode.
Game of Thrones.
So yeah, like I said, we're on episode 6 of season 4. So if you have to go back and watch it before this, it doesn't really matter. You probably remember what happens because there's only 10 episodes. Starts off really cool. They go to the Iron Bank. Stannis and Davos go to the Iron Bank. They're like, hey, listen, you know how the Lannisters basically owe you a shit ton of money and you don't want to give them any more loans because like they've maxed out their student loans and their credit cards. They have like no more money they can borrow. How about you support Stannis the rest of the way and
throw it our way?
Yeah, throw it our way and see what happens. And then the guy from Sherlock was like, okay. We'll do it.
I mean, pretty much. He was skeptical at first. At first, he was like, why would I do that? You have like 12 friends.
Yeah, right. He's like, didn't you have an army? Yeah, they blew up in the Battle of Blackwater Bay.
He went to his Facebook page. He was like, you have 12 friends and they're all yourself with different costumes on. It's really embarrassing.
Right.
But then Davos gave an impassioned speech. He was like, look at my stumps. Like Stannis is very, and he sounds kind of like Sean Connery. He's like, look at my stumps. He's like, Stannis is a just man. A child rules. Give us money.
Because he's like, listen, Tywin's gonna die probably pretty soon.
Probably gonna get him. Oh,
you gotta help him out and have Stannis because he's not gonna die soon. Plus, he has his wife. He has his kid who's like pretty chill. He has a side bitch. It's going pretty good, so you should definitely support him.
He's got his really relaxed kid who's like gonna be like, "Oh, you want to take over? That's totally fine."
Yeah, right. So yeah, they were all like, "Yeah, we can get on that. That's chill, whatever."
I do like that they showed that though, because in the books they
like
never. It's kind of like a side note.
It's like implied, yeah. They're like, while you were gone, guess what happened?
And I was kind of wondering, like, why the fuck would the Iron Bank loan to them?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now I get it.
The Iron Bank was actually really well portrayed in the opening scene. They had it.
I missed. I was playing Magic
They had
with myself.
Yeah, they had little coins rolling down, and it like popped up everything like that game Mousetrap. I don't know if you guys played Mousetrap growing up.
Sounds so familiar. I'm sure
it's
I
like
did.
you trap a mouse. But you have to build like an obstacle course.
Trap a mouse.
Fuck you.
No
That's
way.
what whatever.
No way. Oh my god.
That's what happens when we don't eat Culvers first. We're
Get
fucking
grumpy.
mean. Yeah, we're grumpy.
That sounds so good now.
We need to get the dessert when we go with Mary.
It's like $12.
I know it's a lot, dude. Don't do it. Just wait till next week. You have another treat my mom made.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, my mom made treats too. She's like so good at it. My mom was always like, "Why don't you tell anybody about the treats you made during the podcast?" She doesn't listen to them. I just tell her what we talk about.
No, okay.
So here, for everybody out there, my mom makes really good homemade baked goods and treats.
Yeah.
Just if the Iron Bank was giving out like small business loans, so my mom could start a bakery and have hot pie work there, I think they would do that.
I'm actually gonna grab one right now.
Go for it,
As
dude.
we're talking.
Yeah, I know.
Talking now.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna fill in the gap while Adam eats
And I
that.
gotta give the other 2 to my girlfriend. Otherwise, she will break up with me.
Do you want to give her a shout out? Does she listen to these things?
No, she doesn't.
Yeah, that's all right. She wants to play Magic though. That's kind of chill.
I'll give her a shout out. Hey, Amanda, love you. Could I have a birthday present?
Damn.
You're a little late.
Damn.
Anyway.
Yeah, Westeros where relationships end. Anywho, all right. So the next one they hang out with our favorite queen, Daenerys, and the local townspeople are kind of pissed because her dragons are like killing everything. Mm-hmm. Because dragons eat a lot, but only burnt meat. So they're going around, and she's like, "Okay, I'll like compensate you." And they're like, "Maybe you should do something about it." And she's like, "No, that's cool." So then, after that ends, Hizdar Zolorak comes in, and he's like, "Hey, you crucified my dad," and he's out there like rotting as shit.
Wait, didn't that dude bring kids' bones in, or was that earlier?
He brought in kids' bones too. Yeah, they're like
in this episode.
Yeah, they were killing kids.
Yeah, she was like, "Well, I'll pay you," and then he like dumps his burn up kid on the ground. She's like, "Oh, I'll pay you."
Yeah, right. And she has the longest intro of any queen ever because they combine the Westeros queen, but they throw in like the freer of slaves and grass seas and shit like that. So she has like the longest intro ever. Like if she was a rock concert, it wouldn't make any sense. So
I'll probably leave halfway through it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Anywho, so then Hizdar Zolor comes in and he's like, "Hey, you killed the shit out of my dad and crucified him, and he's rotting out there. That's not really chill at all."
Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, he did that to like slave kids and shit. That's not chill at all either." And he's like, "Wait, he was against that. Like you didn't even ask him. You just fucking killed him."
You didn't even give him a chance.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yo, you didn't even hear him.
He gave her an Evite to like the people who were against the crucifying stuff, but she ignored it. Like whatever.
Yep.
Because they can work on that shitty CGI for those scenes with the castle and stuff, or like when she's talking to the people outside.
You just like expect Godzilla to be like claymation.
Oh
Godzilla.
my god! So or talking to the people up in the towers, like where she's like 800 yards away, and she's like, and they're like, "We can't hear you." But all right, so then he's like, "Hey, he wasn't against that," and he's like, "Can I bury him like an OG?" And she's like, "Yeah, you can do that if you want. That's chill. I can do."
She's like, "I'm a benevolent queen. Go ahead, bury your dead."
I think I'm just feeling like a lot of this scene was like showing that Dany is like a really shitty queen. Like that's what I thought.
A young queen.
Yeah, young but still shitty.
Kind of learning the ropes. Kind of a bitch.
Yeah, right. She's all like, "I'm gonna serve injustice with justice," or. But then it was
justice, sort of.
Yeah, right. Justice light. So that was like, that was the whole thing with her. But she had a really short scene because, like we said in the last one, they really have to stretch out her stuff because she's not in a lot of the next books and stuff. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. But all right. So after that, we go to the Dreadfort, where Reek is being fucked up, and his sister Yara in the show. Osha the books, or Asha.
Her name's Yara in the show?
Yeah.
How have I not caught on to that?
God, you've read the books like 3 times now.
I know her name in the books is Osha.
Osha, yeah.
I didn't know her name in the show is Yara.
Yeah, they changed it because it's too close to Asha.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
How dumb do they think people watch this?
Pretty dumb.
Jesus
a lot of our
Christ.
friends are... A lot of the... Not friends. People we know who watch this are dumb.
That is true.
Yeah.
I guess.
Mm-hmm. Mary said somebody asked her... Mary said when she was talking about the show at school, some of the girls confused Cersei with Dany, which is impossible.
Yeah. Well, they both end with E.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess.
And they both, like, are weird with their brothers. Like, remember the first scene of the... Game of Thrones, like the first episode of the first scene, she was with her brother, and he's like, "You look great, like really good. Like I'm gonna sell you, but I'm gonna admire you for a while."
Yeah, and he squeezed her boobs.
Yeah, that was real. Why did he do that? That was so gross.
I don't know.
That's a lot. That's a big thing in the show. It's just like brother sister shit. It's kind of gross, but whatever. They have to do that.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
Let's just say it was a very different time.
Right.
He was like, "Hey, Danny, let me squeeze them titties." She was like, "Oh no, you're my brother. That's gross." And he's like, "Yeah, Targaryens do this all the time."
Yeah, they did.
He's like, "You're lucky I'm not doing more."
Yeah, right.
Actually, yeah.
He's like, "I need to sell you to fucking Jason Momoa, who's gonna play Aquaman in the next."
He's gonna play Aquaman.
Yeah, he's gonna be Aquaman.
Oh shit.
That's kind of legit.
Actually, that could be cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's gonna talk like that. I'm Aquaman.
Why not? He was okay. I thought he was good in the new Conan that they made. I thought that was fun.
I think he should play Batman.
No.
He already sounds like Batman.
Kind of,
When
yeah.
Christian Bale plays.
They're gonna have Ben Affleck do it though, because they felt like pissing everybody off.
I don't think Affleck's gonna be that bad of a Batman.
Yeah, I don't really care.
I used to, he had his phase. He went through the Geely phase.
Mm-hmm.
But now he has movies like The Town and The Town.
I saw The Town. That was okay.
That was okay. That's a great movie.
I didn't like it that much.
Well,
They're all.
no
I'm like,
cinematic.
get it. Oh, I get it. You're from Boston. You rob banks. Cool. I fucking get it.
It was a character-driven drama.
It was
Weston.
okay. Whatever. Whenever Jeremy Renner, like, whenever you're relying on him and it's not the Avengers, I don't know. I just don't know.
He's a good actor. Hurt Locker, good movie.
I never
Overrated. I think it's overrated.
I never saw Hurt Locker.
You never saw Hurt Locker.
Nope.
All right. We had a date.
Yeah, right. I just never. I don't watch a lot. I usually watch movies like 3 years after they come out. Like if I'm not really into the movie, I'll go see Sin City next week.
Yeah, that
looks
sweet.
awesome. Yeah,
I think that looks great.
I saw Dragon Ball Z last Friday, the Battle of Gods. That was
Nice.
awesome.
There's a few movies I have to see. I have to see Guardians of the Galaxy.
That was
I've heard all
awesome.
amazing
Yeah,
things
that was
about
such a good movie.
it. And like
It's like,
everyone
did you like
else,
Firefly?
I loved
Yeah,
Firefly.
you'll love Guardians of the Galaxy. It's
God,
basically.
I fucking love Firefly.
I know they won't
If
bring that shit back.
I know. I would
We would podcast that if they brought it back.
I would jerk off a horde of elephants with my face.
Damn.
But yeah, and just like everyone else in America, I love Chris Pratt.
Yeah, he's like the hottest thing right
I would
now.
watch him in anything.
Yeah, I liked him in Parks and Rec before this. I stopped watching Parks and Rec this season. It lost me.
I haven't even watched the latest ones either.
Yeah, this season, like, everybody gets pregnant and has babies. And I'm like, wow, how lame is that?
Fuck it. Yeah, I just started it over.
Right, yeah. The first season sucked. And then, like, the middle seasons were great. And then this season, I don't even have to tell you. I bet it was bad. I didn't even fucking bother. Yeah.
I haven't been watching it. But I think we're losing focus.
Right, okay. So back to the... So Yara goes in with, like, 20 dudes. She's like, we're going to rescue my brother.
Yep.
Like, let's do this shit. And all the while, Ramsay's boning this chick hard. Like, he's going hard as fuck.
Well, she's boning him.
Yeah, she was...
He
He was just laying there, like, imagining flaying her because he's such a sick fuck.
Yeah, he's a weirdo.
Yeah, he's weird.
Not a fan of his personality.
Or anything, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she goes in there, and she's just murdering people. Like, she captures this one guy, and it's like, hey, tell me where he is. Like, Theon. He goes, oh, he's over there on the cage to the left. She's like, thanks, and slits his throat, and there's like blood. It's like, she's like, thanks, GG, and just took care of him.
And he was like,
Yeah.
why'd you do that?
He like died like a bitch. Like, it was so funny to hear him. Yeah, it was bad.
Squeal like a pig, boy.
So Theon's in the kennels with the dogs. Like, he's a dog now. He's basically a dog.
Right.
So she's getting his ass beat, and she's like, her men's killing like everybody. And she's like, hey, dude, we gotta get the fuck out of here. They're coming to get us. You know, we need you to get your fuck out of here.
They're coming to get us, Barbara.
And she goes, he goes, no, that's chill. I'm Reek now, by the way. And he's like, we need to get out of here. And he's like, no, I'm going to stay here. I want to stay here. So she's all pissed off. And then she goes back and her men are like fighting. And Ramsay's doing some shit. He's fighting. It's like awesome. There's a lot of blood.
It's pretty cool when he fights.
Yeah, you should watch the show because he's like so... We can't explain it. Like, we don't have the words.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, he like murders people left or right. And then he has to go. She like leaves, and her men's like, "What about your brother?" And she goes, "He's already dead." And like stone cold. Yeah, it was like hardcore. It was
I think that's a cool line too. Mm-hmm. It's that whole thing never happens in the book.
Yeah, it's not in the book.
But I think it's really cool that she's like, well, he's not dead, but like who he was.
This season's like half the show is only show, half the show is book. I've noticed. Yeah, like every episode. I
like that a lot.
They need to branch out because I've read the books. I read the books like 2 years ago. I know. I've
read the books 3 times.
Mary's read it once and remembers everything. So it's like. She's rereading them right now too.
Is she?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You guys have way too much.
Good podcast.
You guys have too much free time. I don't have time to do anything.
I won't have free time in like 2 weeks.
Well, that's why we're wrapping up now. Like next spring, it works out really well. Except we won't be able to bring on Mary until later in the season, like this one, because she'll be at MSU, so she's gonna go be a vet.
Let's just go to MSU and do.
We could do like on location. Yeah, we could go travel.
We could be like, "What up, freshmen? We're the famous podcasters. Come over here and sit on our laps."
I hope she spreads the podcast, like posts it around campus and shit.
Ooh,
like,
she should.
That'd be cool. Like she'd get beat up and made fun of, but I mean, it would be pretty cool for us.
Once you hit college, being a nerd is not.
It's different.
It's like being a nerd is cool. Nerdy's in now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's what kind of pisses me off. All the stuff I've ever liked ever. I mean, I balance it out. I like sports a whole lot, so like I can kind of like chameleon back and forth between the world. Like I've always really liked sports. But, like, I'm still nerdy about it. Like, I research it, I look up the history, and I'm all into the stats and everything. So, even I'm nerdy about sports, but I've always been a little bit of column A and column B. But, yeah, and being a nerd's in now, and, like, everybody's like, oh, I love Game of Thrones. It's like, fuck you. Read the books.
Shit, man.
Yeah, right? Read the books. Listen to our podcast. You'll learn so much.
10 years ago when I was getting fucking swirlies in high school.
Right, I know. Right? God,
yeah, I've always been a nerd. I don't even have a column A. I'm all column B.
Nice.
Don't like sports. I played 5 seasons of co-ed soccer.
Nice.
I scored -1 goals in that 5 seasons. Nice. I scored on myself. Mm-hmm. And my dad still bought me McDonald's because he said, son, if you score a goal, I'll buy you McDonald's. And I was zone soccer, and I lost control, and just the chubby little thing that was in the goalpost. It went right between her fat legs.
Fuck her.
She might not have been fat. Yeah. I just remember her as fat because she ruined my life.
We did Quiz Bowl. I did Quiz Bowl in high school, and we would play. We were all really good. It was like all my friends and stuff. It was really nerdy. God. Like I said, I like sports, but then a lot of the time, I think the nerdiness overrides it. Like,
did you have hair in high school?
Yeah, I had hair. Surprisingly, I did have hair.
I just can't picture it.
I got Facebook pictures of me with hair. There's a couple.
I'm gonna have to look.
It was long, and I had a long, big old fro.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was sweet. And then, like, once it started to go, I'm like, that's it. And I just cut. I didn't, like, want to be the bald guy with, like, long hair. So I'm like, I'm just going to cut it short from now on.
Like I was saying, it's like no one knows what
looks like. Nobody's listening or anything. God, this is why some people don't listen to this show. I'm pretty sure they just
keep going.
Right. But we did go on your McDonald's thing. We went to whenever we won, we went to IHOP. As a team, we would all go. But, like, not as a team, because we really didn't have coaches, and it was like my dad went, but we all paid, but I didn't have a job, so, like, my parents paid. It was pretty sweit.
Nice.
Yeah, but we would go to IHOP. But then when we lost in the championship game, we didn't go to IHOP. I just went home. I was so disgusted. I was so pissed. That was, like, the lowest point of my life, because I had, like, a really easy life. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
That was the
downfall.
Mm-hmm, yeah, but then it got all right. So yeah, but sports are hard, and team sports, and God,
I'm not a very competitive person.
Me neither. No,
like, if I'm losing. Like I don't like to lose, but when I lose, I'm never really pissed off.
I was pissed about that because it was like that was like my thing I was good at in high school. Like I didn't even get good grades back then because I didn't try.
Right.
Like now I get really good grades. I get like straight A's because I apply myself, and I know like if I don't do good at school, I'm gonna get kicked out and have to work at like a grocery store the rest of my life.
It's a little bit different when you're paying for it and it's your future and you work a shitty job that you don't want to stay at.
Yeah, right. But Yeah, it's. I'm not very competitive, but like I really wanted to win, but then yeah, we lost. It was to St. Joe, and I hate them. So
Fucking Saint Joe.
right.
More like Taint Joe. Right?
Saint Blow.
More like Taint Ho.
Nice.
Taint Blow.
Got him.
Yeah. Anyways,
but, yeah.
So
yeah, and then they Reeks and then Ramsey. So Ramsey's like, hey Theon, now I'm gonna call you Reek. You know, get in that fucking bath. I'm gonna wash you up a little bit. And he's like, okay. And Theon takes off his shirt. He's scarred up as fuck.
Yeah,
it's like
he's in rough
bad.
shape.
It's like bad. Not as bad as the show, because remember in the show, or I mean in the book.
Say this is the show.
Yeah,
we're talking about the show.
Fuck you.
Fucking last
All right, back to the book.
Culver's.
Yeah, I know we fucked up.
I hate you so bad.
They don't have their good sandwiches really anymore. They got rid. They don't have the pub style one, and they don't have.
They got what I get. That's what matters.
But you get their one burger every time, the signature one. You got the other one the last time it was really
I did.
Hey, one of the times you did.
I've always got the same one.
No, you got the one with the onion bun.
So Theon
yeah.
is taking a bath.
So he's like, hey, you're gonna have to do something for me. Do you love me? And he's like, yeah, I love you.
It's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, you're right. He's like, yeah, I love you a lot, man. Don't even worry about it. And he goes, all right, man, this is what you gotta do. You gotta act like you're Theon again for me because my dad's coming, and my dad's coming. I already cleaned up the whole apartment. Like he's coming up. You gotta act like you're Theon. You can't act like you're Reek, cause you're supposed to be my prisoner. And I probably wasn't supposed to cut your dick off.
Can we just pretend I wasn't doing this the entire time?
Yeah, right? And Theon's like, I love you, so okay, I'll do it. Scrub my back. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was, yeah. Alright. Then there was only 3 places this episode. Third one was at King's Landing. So there's the small council there, which is Tywin, Oberyn.
Not Mace.
Mace, Big Titties, Tyrell.
Yeah, because Tommen recuses himself. He's like, well,
Yep.
I was sitting in my bedroom and Sir Pounce was like, no, Tommen.
Don't do it.
And I was like, oh.
Sir Pounce, what should I
Do
do?
I have any choice, Sir Pounce? I think I should really be there.
Let your grandfather run it. It is his responsibility. You are too young.
You don't have the wisdom.
Sir Pounce is like, so you're going to rub my tummy or what?
If you're on the council, you won't have tummy rubbing time.
Yeah, right.
Oh, you both know I love tummy rubbing time.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to draw more pictures of Marjorie because I love her so. He's like, you need to watch her. I don't trust her. She has red hair. I don't trust her.
I don't know about Marjorie.
She comes in your room late at night and talks to you and then leaves you blue-balled.
She interrupts tummy rubbing time.
I try to sleep at night, except when I run around for no fucking reason, because I'm a cat. And then, like, the guards are watching him talk to Sir Pounce, and you're just like, what the fuck is this? This is our leader?
This is our king.
He's so incest, he's just, like, talking to cats and shit.
Or Sir Pounce is like, I heard that swine.
And then he, like, kills him with, like, lasers coming out of his eyes.
Pew, pew.
Man, we need to call George Martin now.
Death! Death!
Death to you.
Rain death from the sky!
Except they throw in a ball of yarn to distract him. He was just, like, eating it like a cat.
Did you read Harry Potter?
No.
Oh, you fucking
We've been over this. I
didn't think so. Otherwise, I would have just assumed you did.
I've seen a couple of the movies on Riff Tracks.
I was thinking it'd be funny if Sir Pounce like transformed into Professor McGonagall. You know, the teacher that turns into a cat.
No, but okay.
She's like, oh. Anyways, so trial.
Yeah. So they go there and they're like, all right, let's have the trial, Tyrion. And they're like, Tyrion, you killed Joffrey. You know it. We know it. We all know it. This is like a fucking joke.
No big thing.
Yeah. So they're like, all right, let's get some witnesses out. And fucking the maester comes out. Pycelle. Yeah. Sometimes I mess it up because I'm not as good as Mary. This is what would be nice to have her here next week because if we ever think of a name, she's got us.
Yeah, right.
I'll just like point to her. Like you can't see me pointing, but like 2 fingers like really enthusiastically. Yeah.
If there's like a really like cheeky silence,
yeah,
you know what's going on.
Yeah, you know what's happening. Sir Pounce. But all right, so Priscilla was like, "Oh, I'm gonna list off every poison that's ever existed ever."
I'm going to. God, I love his voice too. He's got like the perfect tired old man voice.
Remember, he was the bad guy in The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones.
Oh,
yeah, he was looking for the Cup of Christ. He was the Nazi, so...
Yo, my name is Weston. We're having a reference party.
So he's like, he lists every poison, and Tywin's like, all right, I don't give a fuck. Like, can you tie this into, like, fake accusing my son, please? And he's like, listen, okay. He took the Strangler. And everyone's like, and he's like, is there a lot of people have the Strangler? Is that, like, a thing you can pick up at, like, 7-Eleven? And he's like, no, like, nobody has the Strangler. And they're like, well, how many Stranglers were missing? And he's like, all of them. And he's like, who took it? Fucking Tyrion. And then the crowd lost it. It was like on People's Court.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when Judge Joe Brown or somebody.
It's like, oh!
It's like Maury.
What was the moment we were talking about with like the Remember, like, was one of our podcasts when something happened and everyone was like, oh!
Oh, we'll think about it. I can't remember.
It was funny.
Yeah. We have some funny jokes in there.
Funny jokes. Silly jokes
for
silly people.
So, alright, then they call out some other witnesses. And they were like, hey, we saw him with Sir Dantas, and then they like got rid of Sansa, and she ran off. So they probably did it because this is the Middle Ages, so we don't have like DNA testing or fingerprints or anything like that.
It's like the hunch is good enough.
Yeah, right.
Then. It's like,
and then they're like, "Who you blame for the death, Tyrion?" He's like, "I didn't do it." And they're like, "Well, who was it?" And he's like, "Oh, the pie, maybe the pigeons. Just keep me out of this shit."
Remember that. Jamie went to his dad and he's like, yo, Dad. He's like, I'll give up the white cloak.
Yeah.
Just let him live. And his dad obviously expected that. He's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, he's like, fine. Because he's worried his family line will be done because Cersei's a woman, so she can't carry it on. And then Tyrion's like a dwarf and they all hate him, but then he'll be dead. And then Jamie's in the not Night's Watch. He's in the Kingsguard.
Kingsguard, yeah.
And then they said, one line I really liked was when Tywin went, he killed his king. And then Jamie said, so did I. That was sweet. I was like, damn. He got him.
It's like, ooh.
Yup. Oh, shit. So, alright, so they're bringing out more witnesses, shitting all over Tyrion. That's like their favorite. And, it's Oberyn, Mace, and Tywin listening to this shit. Alright, so then they go back, and Jamie's like, hey, listen, just confess you did it. And Dad will let you go to the Night's Watch. You won't have to die. And I'll I'll rule Castle Rock. He'll be here for like the rest of his life, being the hand to Tommen. So like everybody wins. And Cersei might have to marry Loras. We don't know.
Which is still hilarious.
Yeah, which is still bad.
No matter how you slice it.
Right. But alright, so Tyrion's like, okay, I can deal with that. That's not so bad.
Yeah, he's like, I was going to go to the Night's Watch anyway.
Right, and then he's like, the same thing was promised to Ned though, so let's see how the rest of this trial goes out. So like, okay. So Tywin, because he's the super douche turd, brings out Shay, and Shay's a lying bitch.
Shay sucks so
She's
much
the worst.
Dick. I hate her. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, everybody in the beginning was like, oh man, I love Shay. She's so funny and a German porn star and so cool and everything.
Yeah,
I was like, just you wait. Just you fucking wait. And then she became like a super bitch. Like so bad.
She's like, oh, Tyrion had me in every hole and he was like pounding me and I was like, oh my John Lannister, but only because he made me. And
yeah, and then she was like, he's like, I was Sansa's handmaiden and shit. That's how we met. Which isn't true because he made her the handmaiden to protect her.
Right.
Because he like was worried she'd die, but then she got like kind of scorned, and then she's a woman, so she has like, she's really emotional and like, I know it's stupid. And she was like being a bitch the entire, and she's like calling him out. She's like, he said I had to do everything he wanted, and I licked him wherever. And I was like, okay, this is kind of getting hot, but like still mad. I'm still mad at them. So she was like, but she was like, yeah. So and he's like, who did it? And then he was like, well, fucking Tyrion and Sansa did. And they're like, why? And he's like, well, Sansa fucking hated everybody because they killed all of her family, and he blamed the Lannisters. And then Tyrion was like, you know what, this is what I'll do because Sansa won't let me touch her. I'll kill Joffrey, and then it's Blowjob City from there on out. So, but
1-894 blowjobs. It's a toll-free number.
So it sounds so good. Like, you know what didn't happen because like we're smarter than that. We read the books and everything. And, everybody's smart. Everybody knows Tyrion didn't do it. But it sounds so good. They're like, okay, we got this shit. And then Tyrion's like, I want to confess. And then Tywin's like, okay, I'm going to let you do this, but I also got to fucking embarrass you in front of everybody by telling everybody that, like, Shay, like, hated you. And, yeah, just, like, so douchey of him. So then Tyrion's like, I confess to being a dwarf and I didn't do this shit. And if I could, I'd poison and kill all of you. I wish I let Stannis ride on all you bitches. Because, like, he hates everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, this is, like, this is the most impassioned speech Tyrion ever makes.
Yeah.
It's just, like, he's gritting his teeth.
Yeah, he's, like, so intense. He got so hyped by that. Like, before, if he didn't bring out Shay, he would have been like, I confess, I did it, let's go to the wall, let's end this shit. So then he, like, gritted his teeth, he was yelling at everybody, and they're like, get him out of here. And he's like, listen, I confess, but I want the gods to handle this. I demand trial by fucking combat. Boom!
And then Oberyn's up in his chair, and he's like, stroking his chin.
Yeah, his dick's a little hard whenever, like, he sees a hot dude or chick. Because, like, he really goes over it. Yeah.
I think Oberyn gets boners at, like, the slightest, like, at, like, a breeze. He's just like, something pretty about that. I guess I'm hard again.
So then everybody's shocked. They're like, he wants trial by combat. Which is, like, I wish they still had... That's such a get-out-of-jail-free card. Like, just like... And you can name...
Well, I mean, I think they're thinking, though, like, who's going to take up this thing against the mountain? Who's going to be crazy enough to do that? No one.
She hasn't named the mountain yet, so...
Oh, spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's alright. They've probably seen it.
Yeah, this is months and months later.
Yeah, right. But, like, in real life, like, if OJ, like, he got off, I know, like, you know, Johnny Cochran did a good job. But, like, he's, like, so guilty. Why would he say trial by combat? Like, yeah, you die if you lose, but there's a chance you win. Like, you know,
it's not, like, you don't get life in prison.
They should bring that back. Like, the Queen of England has a real champion. We've discussed that in previous podcasts.
Which is so fucking
That's
cool.
Sweet, though. God, I wish we had that shit.
Who I would pick as my champion. Like,
we've already been over this.
No, I mean in real life.
Oh, like, in real life.
Like my friends, like who I would pick.
Don't do me.
I think I would pick like Carl.
Carl would be good. Yeah, he's sweet. He's like tall and he's wily. He should win an Emmy for every scene. There's never a scene where like Peter Dinklage is bad.
Yeah,
and this is like one of the best scenes. This is like one of the crowning. Like I think when we look back at this season, like we'll do a little recap when episode 10. But this is definitely one of the scenes that really sealed it. Mm-hmm. It was like one of those scenes that like when the show's all done and we know how it ends, we'll look back and be like, man, that was a great scene. That was a great episode.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So it was pretty big. We're gonna have a trial by combat. We know that he didn't take the plea bargain like Tywin did because he was a dick about it with Shay. But so I think that wraps it up for episode 6. It was a long episode. It was really good, but there's only 3 or 4 things to cover. Yeah. So, but
and for like as little as I paid attention, I'm actually recalling quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is like my 3rd time. I watched it. I think I've already watched the season again, then I'm like rewatching again, and then I'm gonna go through and watch it again before season 5 comes out.
Yep.
Because the DVDs come out. If you don't you should get the DVDs. Like I've mentioned it before.
I'll watch your DVDs.
Yeah, you should probably get it. It's actually worthwhile. So, get the DVDs and stuff like in February. But I think that does it for episode 6. We're gonna watch episode 7 and record a podcast right away and post it. But none of this matters because you're gonna be listening to it like probably hours or days after we post it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
if ever.
Yeah. Right.
If you'd like to.
Yeah, you should probably listen to it. It's pretty good.
I suggest doing something else while you're listening to it.
That's what I do. Is I put it like I usually listen to it just to recap what happened and like remind us. And I put it in and I like do laundry or dishes or make dinner or something. I don't like sit and listen to us talk because I'm not that egomaniac or anything.
Right.
So. But so all right. So episode 6, wrapping it up. Get ready for the next one, which you'll probably listen to back to back.
All right.
All right. I'm Weston.
I'm Adam.
Nice. Good job.
Hello.
Yeah.
My name's Adam.
All right.
Now we're done.
We're done.
Just hang up. I'm Adam. Bye.